Yo, 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 yo. You can hear the excitement in my voice. You don't need to know why.
Thing.
Just know I'm excited now. I'm up now. Things happens, before this started. So, yeah, guess what? Welcome. Welcome to a new episode of Respect My Gamer.
Respect it.
Respected. I'm the host, Elements MC, Elements with a Z. And my co-host right here is Comedic 7. I'm sorry, I messed that up almost.
That's my intro.
I'm sorry, man. Look, Comedic 7. What's good with you?
What's going on, people?
Yo. How you doing, man? How your week been?
It's been all right.
It's been all right?
Yeah, decent week. No
That's good.
news.
Same here. You know what I'm saying? Decent week.
All right.
But guess what? Today, Canis 007, other co-host, is not available today. Last week he was in the bunker. Now I guess they found the bunker and he has to relocate.
It's the whole thing. Taskmaster looking for him and stuff. He had to leave.
Yeah, so he'll be back. I'm hoping this week. Hopefully. Otherwise, we have to replace him.
We'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
You know what I'm saying? No, we just messing with you. We can never replace you. Hey, but today we have filling in for Canis 007. We have a very special guest. She is also a gamer just like us. And she's been around us for as long as we've been married, because it's my wife. Yeah. Welcome to the show, Regina.
And a couple years before.
There you go. And right. So welcome to the show, my wife Regina, also known as Serenity Game Tag. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Didn't I see you this morning?
Well, I think you did.
I think I saw you this morning.
Right. I left. I mean, it was brief. I had to leave out.
I feel like I seen you. Deja vu.
You did.
It's possible.
You better have.
Deja vu.
You better have seen me. In your dreams or something. I don't know. But yeah. Let's see the face you be.
Start playing with Billy Ocean.
Right. Oh, I don't get no.
No respect in the precinct.
No respect, nothing. Just nothing. But how you doing today?
I'm doing. I'm excited. I'm hoping that, Gotti ain't somewhere thinking I'm trying to steal his spot. I'm standing in.
Yeah,
I'm just standing in.
Cool.
I'm a guest.
It ain't like we told him to go away. He left.
Right.
That's true. That was a choice.
It's right. He chose to go somewhere. We didn't say do the things you do. So whatever.
Good point.
Right.
Good point.
Now, Regina, you want to say Regina or Serenity? Which one?
Regina's fine. I just put my gamer tag up here because I was like, I'm in the gamer lair, so I figured, we was going with gamer names. But yeah. Regina's fine.
Thank you. Okay. So Regina, how long have you been a gamer?
Well, not to date myself, but I guess from the beginning.
I guess she said well.
Yeah, I feel like when you was there when the first Nintendo dropped, you kind of got to be like, well, back in my day. But really, even before Nintendo dropped, my uncle had a Atari that he coveted and wouldn't really let us play, but I was all about it. I was big on arcade games. I've always been a gamer, and my parents are gamers, so I just kind of, it's what I do. It's part of my stress relief. It's part of my job now. It's what I do.
That's what's up. Yeah. I'm glad you say your parents are gamers, because that's actually how I got my start too. My mom is a gamer.
Likewise.
You know what I'm saying? So it's cool. Like gaming it runs in the family, it's in the blood.
Yeah, my mom figured out how to get those extra rings in Sonic before anybody else did. And she did it flawlessly. Like, I don't even think she had took off her work clothes. She was like, let me just get these rings real quick and stun on y'all real quick, and then I'll go cook dinner. It was very smooth. Resident Evil is my dad's jam. Now, will he touch the new remastered and all of that? He said absolutely not. But when it first came out, that was him all day, because he worked overnight. So during the day, he played Resident Evil in the daylight. And so we knew you need to let him know before you come in the house because he is in it. And if you come in there just opening doors,
Oh, he was in Raccoon
yeah,
City.
yeah, he was in Raccoon City.
Gotcha,
Things were
gotcha.
happening. You couldn't
Oh,
just come in the house and scare that man.
It was outside his window.
Yeah,
Okay.
you had to slow down. You had to be like,
Okay.
wait a minute, we're coming home now.
Right.
We're not zombies.
I
Don't
ain't
throw
gonna lie
something.
though. I wasn't playing Resident Evil at nighttime.
Oh,
I
absolutely
did,
not.
and I'm not gonna play this.
Absolutely not. That's a death wish. You crazy?
that was the only time
Mm-mm.
I played it.
I know you. I know it's the only time you will play it. Like you don't. Yeah, you
But
want
Let me tell you, I didn't even play Tomb Raider at night like that. Tomb Raider isn't even a horror game, and I was still like, I need everybody to be quiet because if these wolves jump out, I'm throwing something.
Hey, I was like, fuck that tiger.
Yeah,
Like for real.
yeah.
You just go a good, move this box. Wow.
Yeah, the stuff just jumping. I need everybody in the house quiet. I can't have all this extra. We in this. It's serious. This is important. Shh.
I am trigger happy right now.
Yeah, be quiet. You want to get the shoe to the face? Be still. Sit down.
So okay. So what would you say would be your favorite game of all time? Video game.
Favorite game of all time is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Ooh.
Followed closely by Super Mario Brothers 3.
3.
Yeah, 3.
With the boot.
With the boot.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good choice. Like I don't think a lot of people choose San Andreas as their first choice.
No, they don't see it as a classic the way that we see it as a classic. And so for me, San Andreas holds a special place in my heart. It's the game we were playing when we first met. It's the game where it reminded me of all of those great 90s movies in terms of like Boys in the Hood and all of that. It also had an actual social commentary that people weren't ready to understand or comprehend about Black people. And video games didn't really speak about Black people. But San Andreas actually looked at gang life as not about violence. This was we're here for each other. And then drugs came in and screwed up what we were doing. We were cool over here. The drugs came in and changed the game, which is ironic that the game's voice is in there right when you see that happening, but that's extra.
Yeah.
It also had great voice talent. The soundtrack was off the chain.
It was.
You know, there was so much in that game that made it like I've replayed San Andreas at least 4 or 5 times, and the map is up in my office at work. When people come in,
nice.
They think it's a regular map, and then they like, that's San Andreas. Like, yes, you ain't never been to Los Santos? What you mean?
Right. Well, speaking of your job, you work. You're a librarian. You're a young adult librarian, and so you're around a lot of teens and tweens and things like that. And you feel like gaming is a very much important part of development. Am I correct? Like, what I'm saying, just to like, how important is gaming to just like people in general?
Well, I think people don't understand that everything that we do in life, we require some of the same elements that gaming provides. Right. So having a set goal, having a team, understanding how to make a strategy for what moves you're about to make, recognizing your surroundings, being able to make quick decisions. All of that is in video games. All of those things are in video games. So I always have gotten frustrated from parents who come in and they have concerns when kids are checking out games, or when I've had people come to the desk and ask, like, why do you all offer video games? And then I have the opportunity to be like, well, actually. And then I also have people who come and they think because I'm another adult that they're going to get me on their side. So they come to desk and be like, all these kids, all they do is video games and and they get started. And I'd be like, well, actually, have you looked at how that affects their spatial reasoning? And also that same kid that won't read a book, did you know they read the entire strategy guide for that game they're in there playing? And those two that don't get along, do you know that they do campaigns on Call of Duty together every afternoon? Like that kind of thing gets parents thinking differently. And so it was my end when I started at the library. I had mostly teen boys. And I'm also was the only Black librarian there. So when you come in and you're number one, a Black person, they're happy to see somebody else that looks like them. And number two, when you're a girl, they're thinking, you don't play games. And so when they find out that I play, it's like it opens up this other level of like, oh, I can talk to you. You're relatable. And so gaming was my end, but it was also my way to make them think about other things. Like, okay, you don't like history, but you love Assassin's Creed. Let's talk about that, because Assassin's Creed is all about history. You don't like fantasy books, you think they're girly, but you play Skyrim. Bruh, that's a fantasy book right there. All of those things that they thought they didn't care about, I was able to let them see, well, actually, in this game, you're dealing with all of those issues right now. Even games where you're making decisions like a Hitman or something like that, people will look at it just for the violence of it. But when you really play it, you have to think as Agent 47, and you think about what decisions you're making and how they affect the rest of the people in that environment. And you look at who this person is that you're assigned to assassinate and how you feel about it. And then there's games like, like The Last of Us, or even any of the Grand Theft Autos, where you're really looking at the human condition and how would you deal with these emotional issues. And it gives young people the opportunity to work through their emotional issues in a way that feels safe for them. And then it also teaches resilience. How many people do you know, like, even, me and Jabari, our son is 5, and if he has a hard time putting his shirt on, he's ready to throw something. But I'll see him try to figure out how to get that Paw Patrol game or that PJ Masks game to give him the reward. He'll keep doing it. So the games teach you all of these life skills that people don't think about. They think it's just playing, but life is a game. You playing that every day. And you don't just be like, well, let me turn that off. This is nonsense. You can't.
Right. Well, it's ironic that you say that, because we're going to touch on that later on in the episode. But first, the last question I have for you, I'm not sure if you got one, but the last question I have for you is, what's your favorite video game character?
I got one question. That was one.
That was one? Oh, okay. Well, you asked it then. Go ahead and ask it. Just ask the same question.
Well, same question. What was your favorite video game character?
My favorite video game character of all time?
Of all time. Just one.
Like, if you could pick one, which one would it be?
This is going to be controversial.
Oh, you like controversy?
But quite honestly, my favorite character of all time is a tie. One is Shell from Portal. Because she is working her way through insurmountable odds, but she doesn't quit. And when she wakes up and she realizes that she's got all of these challenges to get through, she's like, but I'm gonna get through them because I gotta get up out of here. Even when she realizes that the cake is a lie, she's like, yeah, but I'm still getting up out of here.
Right.
And then my close second, it used to be Lara Croft, but Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh.
He is one of my favorite characters, if not my absolute favorite character of all time, because he has all of those qualities that I was just mentioning about gaming. He cares about his gang. He cares about the people he works with, but he's also unapologetic about who he is and what they do. Yeah. He cares a lot about his principles. And even if they're not principles you would agree with, his thing is there used to be honor amongst thieves. And that's what I'm on. And I don't want us changing just because that's what the world is doing. Because that's what's happening in Red Dead, is they've been a certain way and the entire world is changing. And they're like, well, we ain't. Right. I don't care nothing about what y'all talking about. This is about us.
What I know.
Yeah. So I know that's controversial because not everybody is that much into Red Dead, and they like Red Dead Online and all of that, or even they like John from the first Red Dead. But for me, Arthur took that game to a completely different level and had so many of the qualities that I can just sit up and just listen to him talk. He's hilarious. Things he noticed. He's hilarious.
Okay. I like that. I like them choices.
Definitely dig the choices.
Yeah, because I was waiting for Laura Croft. You know what I'm saying? We just say that. You know what I'm saying? But
She used to
I,
be at
I
the top because
yeah,
she was a girl. Because for me, there weren't very many females represented in games. So growing up, I couldn't really see myself in the games that I was playing, and that's important too. So any girl character I was clinging to, and Laura Croft was like, she was that bitch. She was at the top. She was rich. She
uh-huh.
was gorgeous. She was
Yep.
intelligent. She had a crew. She was so smart with those puzzles. So Laura was at the top. But
Yeah,
also, now I'm like, well, Red Dead, I can go online and make my own character, which I do, which I have.
yeah. I do. She gets it in on Red Dead
I think y'all
online.
might have heard us mention that once or twice before. If y'all
Yeah,
didn't,
she gets on. She gets it in on that.
yeah,
If you're looking for a posse, bells and whistles, my brother and I, we have a posse that we go around, we bounty hunt, we do our thing.
Yeah,
So you're welcome. We
yeah,
take new members.
yeah.
definitely. What's up?
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. Any other questions you got?
Uh, one more actually, because we had a whole episode about this. I just kind of wanted to know hers.
Okay.
Favorite soundtrack from a game.
Man, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I own it.
I'm
I
Oh
like,
yeah,
don't
we
think
bought it.
oh
we
yeah,
bought the
Bought
soundtrack.
the
I
That
soundtrack.
had CDs.
Yeah,
double CD.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
It's a double CD, and I not only do we own the actual discs, but I have it in a playlist on Spotify.
it got
There's
us to
certain songs when they come on, I'll be like, man, this made me want to play the game,
Hey, look, I
yeah,
pulled over in the game and I just let songs stop.
and just
right.
let the songs play.
I think
Keep on moving. The fact that the DJs even on that one was like crazy. It was
I
amazing.
think it got us from I don't know if it was going or coming back, but it got us to Baltimore
Yeah,
and back like the whole soundtrack.
yeah,
We just played it. So
Those
yeah,
that's been listening for a while, there was a reason why we didn't pick that, because it would have just been all of us saying San Andreas.
yeah.
yeah, we'd have all said San Andreas. You know what I'm saying? But it's really just a simple choice to make.
So we had to make
Yeah.
out the rule, like none of us go say it.
Yeah, we're not gonna say that. Like we'll say original music, like you know what I'm saying, like
Oh,
like
It's the
Sonic,
option.
Streets of Rage. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll say original.
now that one was up there for a while. Streets of Rage and Sonic, those are always up at the top music wise.
Yep.
Sonic, there's times where even just, even just in our family where we'll just start singing the Sonic song, everybody in the house be like, "Da-na-na-na." Like we just
Yeah.
know. You
You
just
just
hop
know.
on.
You know
Any
that.
age. My mom, my nephew, us, any age will be like, "Oh, I know that song. Let's
Yeah.
go."
Yeah. I mean, because like definitely, you know that meme that goes around with the dude, the black guy got the headphones and he got that real serious face.
Yeah.
He's like, and then on the other side, they say what I'm listening to, and it'd be something
yeah.
completely different. Like that'd be me. I'll be in my headphones like looking like this. Yeah. Then all whole time Green Hill Zone is
Playing,
going. Just,
doing its thing.
I mean, you
Do
just can't deny that.
its thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sega had a distinct sound and you knew it when you heard it.
right. Because Streets of Rage 2, like the game.
I can hear it right now. Just mentioning it, I can hear it right now.
Right. Like the other meme that you say, what the psychiatrist said, you can't hear images. But I guess you put that Sega logo up there, you're gonna hear that.
Sega.
Exactly.
Even that was rhythmic,
Right. Right.
EA was very straight EA. It's in the game.
EA Sports.
It's in the game.
Like
But with
Sega,
Sega, that was Sega. It was like, welcome. Welcome home.
Right.
right.
PlayStation kind of does that too, but
Yeah,
they
the first
started
PlayStation
it.
was like, you know what I'm saying?
That was the feeling that made me feel good when my Tomb Raider actually worked. I knew it was going to work because I heard that sound. If I didn't hear that sound, I knew my PlayStation was being stupid, and I was like, "Dang it!
Yeah,
restart it."
Or
You
PlayStation
gotta
2.
figure out your little tricks. Like, do I just slam the lid shut and that'll
Right.
make it start spinning, or what do I do?
You just hoping, wishing. It's like PlayStation 2. It's like your game will work, right? If you put the game in and you see those little stars going
It
around,
stayed blue.
and if it disappeared, you're like, yes,
Yes.
I can
Game.
play.
Yes.
Started turning red. You mother.
Right.
Also with The Sims, everybody's not a PC gamer, but for me, The Sims and Skyrim, those are more PC for me. And so when it comes to The Sims, if I didn't see the words start moving across the bottom, I knew the loading screen wasn't actually working. And I was like, I only get to play for an hour. And so
Right.
you're eating into my hour right now.
Right. Please stop. Please play. Please work. Kids nowadays, man, they have it so easy.
They don't understand. The game
Right.
comes right on. It saves where they last were. They'll never understand.
Right, you ain't got to do none of that. You know what I'm
They'll
saying?
never
You have to
understand the pain of the game actually cutting off and you having to start over because
Right.
there was no memory card. They don't understand. I actually, at the library, I did a flashback gaming day and I brought in a Retron and we played a couple of Sega games. And one of the teen boys actually was like, Miss Regina, how did y'all deal with this? This is ridiculous. You mean I gotta start over?
Yep.
Yes, sir. This is a commitment.
Put your privileged ass on somewhere.
Gaming used to be a commitment. You have to be like, this. I'm
to be
in this.
I'm in this.
My snacks are on the table. I'm not
Right.
moving. There's
Right.
no going to the bathroom. I don't have time for that. I'm in it to win it, literally.
Never get it. Never get it. That's okay though.
They don't understand.
That's all right. Well, speaking of nostalgia, we're gonna get into the weekly roundup, which is not really much of a roundup, but it's what's happening last week as far as some gaming news, right? So basically, this past week, a lot of rumors have been going around about Rockstar doing remastered versions of the basically the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, which is Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas.
Yeah.
So they're working on getting it remastered and should be out later this fall. But also will be coming to the Nintendo Switch.
We'll put a Grand Theft on the Switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, it's going to be a combination of old and new graphics, and I'm curious, like how do you feel about that?
I'm with it. Don't touch the soundtrack.
Do not touch the
don't touch the
soundtrack.
soundtrack.
Don't ruin it.
Right.
Don't ruin it. I'm excited about it in terms of Vice City, but San Andreas, I feel like y'all have already remastered this. You gonna give it to me on every platform? Just make it standard with the systems. When new systems come out, just make it where it's automatically on the system because I already bought the remastered for my 3, for the 4.
I got it for the 4.
Wait, San Andreas?
San Andreas.
Yeah, they remastered.
That's how.
Yes, they've remastered it already. They've done it before. They're just like, we want this game to go with you as you grow. So just preload it from now on. Just make it a part.
They did it with Final Fantasy too. Final Fantasy 7. That's on every system. Like.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's my question because it's like, like what's the purpose of the remaster in the sense that, like, I know Vice City. I mean, and I'm going to assume that the next installment to Grand Theft Auto 6 should be a Vice City.
A return.
Since 4 was in Liberty City, and then 5 was in San Andreas. Right. So now I'm figuring out, well, you might as well just go Vice City for 6. So
become a circle.
And give us a female main character. But okay, keep going.
That's what I'm hearing though. The rumor is that there's a female protagonist.
Yeah,
it's about time. It's time.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I just hope it doesn't get too like politically correct in the sense where it's like, don't just.
They've never.
I mean, it is, but if you look at the history of Grand Theft Auto, they've gotten better with it, with actually like with the female counterparts. But early on, it was like,
yeah, they didn't. I don't know, they didn't have good writers or something.
Yeah, they really did not like.
But they got better, so
yeah,
come on,
let's go. I'm ready for it.
That's it, right?
I'm ready for it. So yeah, it's going to be a combination of old and new graphics. So I'm just kind of curious to what that's going to look like.
I hope they do like Resident Evils did. The remasters, they're they're not remakes, but they did bring the control scheme tighter.
Right.
It's like made the controls better.
Right.
Make it a little better. Make it worth the remaster.
Yeah.
Make it worth it. Make it worth me potentially buying this game for the third time.
Right.
Make it
For the
worth,
third time.
Make it worth that RC mission.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no.
Fix them controls.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You just really froze me for that mission was
Right.
unnecessarily
I
hard.
hated that.
Right.
I hated that mission.
Oh man.
Let's tighten up them controls.
Please. Cause that pissed me
Because I
off.
think one of the times that I did it, I actually got almost to the end of it, but it's like the game didn't register that I dropped it at the right time, and it was like failed, and I was like ready to throw the whole system.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be nice if it works better, but again, I don't even know if I would buy it again. I am not against going, and Jabari will attest, I will plug in the 3 and just replay
Yeah.
when I want to. So I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I ain't got no problem. But I guess the thing is, I'll appreciate the fact that they remastered it, and if they elevate the control system, then I would feel like, okay, because sometimes going back, like, I don't know, for some reason, I can go back and play Nintendo.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And not like, it's like riding a bike. It's like you don't forget how to, like, you know what I'm saying, maneuver through certain things, even with Sonic. But sometimes when they try to upgrade to a newer system, the control scheme gets lost.
That's because those are platformers, though. I think platformers is like the system is the system. How you gonna do it is how you gonna do it. But with these open world games, when they remaster it, sometimes things get lost in the translation, and it's like, well, now this isn't even fun anymore, and I don't really need the story again. So the least you could have done is made it more enjoyable to play, especially since it's an open world game.
Right.
That's all I want out of these. Don't touch the music.
Yeah,
the controls.
I just want to have more fun running around doing stuff.
Yep.
I want, because that's really what we want when we want to remaster. It's more so like when you're playing something like, you know, especially when you're speaking about Rockstar, if you're playing something like Red Dead and you see how fun it is to just run around that world and be able to just loot the houses, or, you know, have different things you can do with the AI and all of that stuff, you start to think, man, I wish I could have did this on whatever game. And so you want them to remaster it because you like, I want to be able to do this thing in that world.
Yep.
Right.
And they don't be thinking like that. They be like, oh, they want the game again. Okay, cool. It's like, no. I don't want just the game. I want to be able to do what I've been doing over here with that. I want CJ to be able to act a fool the way that I get to act a fool over here. That's all. Yep. I don't want just the game again. I'm clear on the story. I know what's going to happen. You ain't got to touch none of that. That we here with that. That's cool. But can I run around and talk to the people the way that I was able to do as Nico? Can I do that? Can I have this? They don't always think about that.
I guess that's the thing, because you know, you think about like especially in the GTA world, you know, you think about, okay, if we're gonna remake, you know, if we're gonna like do GTA 3 Liberty City and then come out GTA 4 Liberty City, you know, you can appreciate GTA 3 for what it is, because it's like, well, it's not like 4. So sometimes you want to be able to do certain things that you do now in current games in a remastered version, but sometimes it's like, well, if that's the case, you could just play the newer version. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's a difficult topic to navigate, I guess. But what I will say, there are certain games that should not have ever been remastered.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So let's touch on that real quick. Now, there are certain games like what are some other games that you feel like did a very good job of remastering or remaking?
Did a good job?
They did a good job.
I'm gonna say Parappa the Rapper.
Really?
Yeah.
Good choice.
Oh, okay.
Good choice.
School me on that one.
But it came. The remaster came out.
It was a few years ago.
2017-ish.
Yeah.
Really?
Something like that. Yeah. And
I need a game some more. Jeez.
it was all the same stuff, all the same songs and everything.
Right.
Just once again, the graphics are like crisper. It's HD graphics and stuff.
Yeah.
They got like a couple more things you can unlock and stuff. And but like the controls feel crisper. It don't feel like a couple times you were playing that and you knew you hit that button on PlayStation. You knew you hit the button on time.
Yeah. And they said no.
Right. And he was like, absolutely not, you didn't.
I know I did.
On this one, if you mess up, you feel like you earned that mess up.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. That's cool. It's well earned. Okay.
So you hear me, Rockstar? Fix them controls.
Fix the controls now, please. Regina, you got any games that you feel like did a good job of being remastered?
A good job?
Good job.
Yeah, good job.
Or that shouldn't have.
We'll get to the shouldn't. I got one for the shouldn't. You go ahead with what should have or did a good job.
Yeah.
A good job of remastering. Come back to me. Let me think about it for a minute.
Okay.
Elements.
A good job?
Yeah, good job.
I'll go with something that's a little bit more recent. The Last of Us.
Then you stole the one I was going to say. That's the only one that just came to my mind because I was trying to run down a list of like what has been remastered that I actually gave a crap about. Oh, I got one. Never mind. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I got one now.
The Last of Us did a good job. I mean, even though it is not like it was like going from like a PS1 to a PS5, whatever, or Xbox to a Xbox Series. It's like it went from PS3 to PS4, but you can tell, and the game came out a year before on PS3. It came out a year before the PS4 released. So when it came out, I was playing. I was like, this is definitely a good upgrade. It flowed better. You know what I'm saying? Like, the characters, the graphics were better. They were improved. Even with GTA 5 came out on PS3.
Yeah.
And the PS4 version came out, and you can tell the difference.
See, I never played them on the 3.
I played it on the 3.
And 5 on only on the 4. I never played them on the 3.
Yeah, like you can tell the difference. Like so much that I don't even remember playing Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PS3.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Blocked it from
my memory. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't remember that now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because it transitioned well onto the PS4. So
you say that's good.
Yeah, that's good. Those are good ones.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Mine is Crash Team Racing, Crash Bandicoot. They just did a remastered version of Crash Team Racing.
I didn't know they did racing.
And oh my God. My God. Because the dope thing about it is like my family never stopped playing the first one. We was like, we're just gonna keep playing this one. Right. So we didn't even think to ask. I wish they would have a remastered version. Didn't even cross our minds. We were good with just keep playing the old one. It was still fun. But the remastered one, you have a couple of new characters, the different little things you can throw out of your cart to like block the other players are different. You got different settings, but it still gives you those old levels where you know that track like the back of your hand and you know which your favorite character is, but it just added some stuff. So I'll say good remastered Crash Team Racing. That was a good choice for them to do. And to reintroduce people to who Crash Bandicoot is, because a lot of people didn't know that he was almost the mascot for PlayStation, before Sackboy came through and knocked him down. That little Big Planet was like, actually, this is us.
We don't talk about Crash on Xbox. Bring that up.
We're gonna talk about that,
right? We don't bring that up.
Oh, okay.
His home was Sony.
That was his home.
It was.
That was his home.
You ain't got to feel bad about it.
I don't.
Yeah, in the big guys, you got Mario, you got Sonic, you had Crash, and it was like, and then Halo, I guess, was Xbox's thing that those of us on the Sony side was like, okay, if that's what y'all want to do, okay, Master Chief, okay, that's what y'all want to do.
Yeah,
but we like animal mascots over here and little Italian guys.
Yeah, we good. Yeah, we rock with that.
Right.
Oh, so those are good choices. Um, now,
Uh-oh.
uh, I'll say
Those were good
those are
choices.
good choices. I do have one choice, just one. I just have one. Uh, there's a game goes by the name of 13.
Which is an
13.
amazing game.
Yes.
And it was, yes, say that again.
I don't
It's
think
an
you.
amazing
It's an
game.
amazing game. It's basically it's made in inspired by the graphic novel. So basically, the game plays like a graphic novel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you'll be like, you're playing as this character. You're playing as 13. He is a man without an identity, and he's basically trying to put the pieces together of like what happened to him, and what I'm saying, like, and he's also going up against like different organizations that's trying to keep information from him. So he's
Right.
basically trying to, there's a lot of twists and turns into the game. It's a first person shooter, and the style of the game is basically all like graphic novel. So if you ever read a graphic novel, it's literally just set up the same way. You'll have
Even the sound effect words going across the
yeah,
screen, all of
yeah,
that.
Look, they gave Batman throwing knives. I was in.
Yeah.
right, right,
Yeah.
right. Like you could be hiding somewhere and like you could see somebody like run past you and you can just kind of hear their footsteps and you can see the footsteps going
The tap
across the
tap
screen.
tap.
Yeah, the tap tap. Like
Yeah.
it was dope, man. It was always I was intrigued by it. I just kind of just saw the cover of it and I was like, that looks like it's an interesting game.
I
And
think that's one that we actually like picked up once again to age ourselves. That's one that we like was in Blockbuster or
Hollywood Video.
Hollywood Video. One
Like
of them was
crazy.
like, I want to try that
Yeah.
and tested it
There's
out,
actually
kind
a
of
few
thing.
games that we have basically found to really love that we've just said, try
From
that out.
rentals. Yep.
Yeah.
Some of the best ways sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was a great game, great storyline. I love to go back and pick it up and play it again. So years later, I'm not sure if it's the original developers, but somebody decided to say, "Hey, you know what? We should remake this. We should remaster it so that it's upgraded the graphics and you know what I'm saying. People will like gravitate to it. Yeah,
Well, because people were making emulators of it. People were
right.
really, there was a full fandom about 13 that was happening on the blogs and on Reddit and everything. And so
Yeah.
people were making emulators and they were trying to recreate it. And so somebody was like, oh, bet I can make
Yeah,
money at this. All right, let's
right,
do it.
right,
Somebody did the George Lopez. Like,
right.
look at
Now,
this.
look. Now, here's a life lesson for you. Sometimes because you can do something does not mean you should do something. Okay?
Evidence
Because
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A.
13 remastered.
Look, I'm just gonna. Somebody said it better than me. Like I'm gonna take the words of somebody else. Uh, the remake of 13 is the equivalent of injecting a deadly virus into the structure of the original game that results in nothing more than corruption.
Yeesh. Those are some strong feelings.
Right.
That's
Hey, honestly, that might not be.
basically just accuse them of murder.
It might not even. They
Well,
might not even have any. They might not even have any feelings behind that. That might just
It's
be
like
said.
you murdered this game.
This the remake of 13 is the equivalent of a deadly virus. Like he
picture somebody playing it for a minute. They got the sticks. Then they just.
right.
This isn't what I wanted.
So here's the thing.
Push your plate back.
When I heard about the remake, right? I said, okay, I'm curious. I looked up the reviews. I said, let me just check it out. You know what I'm saying? Just to see. Normally I don't do it, but I say, let me just check this. I mean, the reviews are horrible. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna say. The reviews are horrible. And I said, okay, but you know what though? This is important to me.
For nostalgia's sake.
Let me just try it out. I tried it out. And when I tell you I couldn't get past the second level, that game was a complete mess. It was a glitchy mess. It like The sound effects were off. Like you could shoot somebody and you wouldn't hear any pow pow, nothing.
Not the
Just
pow
nothing.
pow.
You didn't hear nothing. It was like
You know
you
me. Normally, I do not trust critics and reviewers
right.
at all.
Mm-mm.
But
Because
there's something when everyone
Yeah.
yeah, well most of
everyone said it's bad.
yeah, it's very yeah. Like even like at
Not a good
times
look.
I talk about the division game all the time because the division basically you have to play it connected to the internet.
Right, right.
Now sometimes the division has so much going on, like you won't. There's a delay on
So because of the
something,
net, you get the lag and
right?
stuff.
You know what I'm saying? There's a
Right.
delay. This is not that. 13 is not connected.
You don't have to deal with the net.
You
You
ain't
just
gotta deal
deal
with
with
that.
the lag, though.
It's a lag in thought because
Yeah,
this
because
was
that should have been built in.
right. Why am I shooting and I'm not hearing nothing?
They want you to get that online experience.
Also, why am I shooting you and nothing's happening to you? You're catching these bullets. You're not. Nothing's happening to you.
I think that goes back though to listening to the people, because when you feel like the people want this, they want it. Sometimes you as a creative have to be like, yeah, but I know what's best, because
right.
listening to all of the people telling you what they want takes away from the beauty of that original game. And so now somebody who plays that remaster is going to be like, this game is trash, when the game is great, but you just played the wrong version. You caught the
Right.
wrong episode.
Because that was a PS2
Right.
game. So
Yeah.
I understand people don't have
Gotta look through
PS2s
my stuff. I
anymore.
gotta see if I
You know what I'm saying? And they like I get it. But with this, they just
Yeah, they
I was
dropped the
upset.
ball.
I was just really upset. I was like, how do y'all do this? You know what I'm saying? How do you do something that for a game that's demanded?
lack of beta testing.
Look at Final Fantasy 7. Look at that. Okay. Look at Resident Evil. Look at that. They did a good job on remaking those and remastering those. Look at that.
The remaster for 7 was just like the original on PlayStation.
Exactly.
The remake went further.
Here y'all come.
And y'all
we
couldn't
gonna
do that?
we gonna remake 13, but we're gonna call it 8.
Shut up.
And they just gave you -5.
Right. Just come out with 8. You know what I'm saying? Like this.
They did their best.
Okay.
Are you sure?
They probably did their best.
Oh,
and their
that's
best
sad.
is horrible.
That's sad. That's
okay. So yeah, the creators of 13 should have just
they should have left it
they
alone.
left
They
it
should have left it
alone,
alone.
man. It's like don't do stuff like that.
But people hype you up. People hype you up and they tell you the game was so great, please do it. And you have to
They
be
had a
willing
red
to
pen
say
and they-
no.
you need somebody that'll tell you no in your life.
Like, which perfect example, and I don't know, I might be wrong, I might have missed something, but that's been the argument about GoldenEye, is people have been constantly asking for, please redo it, please remaster it, please make it available. And they've got emulators that they've been running and all this kind of stuff of the game, and they've been like, nah, we good.
Don't touch my GoldenEye.
They've been good.
But wasn't there different versions of GoldenEye, like in addition to GoldenEye, or is it just GoldenEye?
It was just GoldenEye. There were James Bond sequels and stuff. You had World Is Not Enough, Agent Under Fire on the PS2 and GameCube and stuff during that era.
Right.
Every era got one
like their own version of James Bond.
I think except for the past two the 4 and the 5, the Series X and the Xbox One.
Yeah.
I think that's the only generation that didn't. All the other ones, back to the 3 and all of that, you got some of the ones technically after what's his name took over in the movie roles.
Yeah.
Rod, I forgot dude's name.
I can't think of it. Yeah.
Yeah, those were all tied to Pierce Brosnan. Yeah.
Either way, leave it alone.
But people have been asking, and they've just been like, no.
I don't want to tell 2 reasons.
No.
Online messes with timing. If anybody that thinks differently, play it like in the cross-platform world, play something on one system and go against somebody on the PC or something. You're gonna notice a difference.
Yeah.
Online messes with timing and things. And 2, Microsoft own Rare. You're gonna get that game sold to you in pieces. you're gonna get stage 1 $5. Stage 2
Right.
5. Like don't mess with GoldenEye.
Just leave it be.
Leave it
Just
alone.
leave it be. Hold on to your memories.
Yeah.
Embrace those. Be happy that you had that time.
Yeah.
And just let it go. Just
Right.
be okay. I've had to teach that to the teens in terms of even the books. Like, for a while there, everything is a series, Twilight, Harry Potter, everything's got 3 books or more. And so now there's more books where it's like, this is a one and done. And I had to tell them, like, that's a good thing. You have to learn to let your favorite characters go. You have to learn to move on and be okay with that. So sometimes it's okay if the game is just done. That was a moment. We're done with that moment. We're moving on now.
Lessons, life lessons.
Life lessons.
They're not easy, you know.
Gotta learn them though.
But guess
You
what?
gotta learn them.
Guess what?
Well, that's funny that you brought that up.
Yeah, because that's the next segment that I want to talk about. Like, because earlier you talked about, like, life is a game, right? So
That it is.
so here's a cool topic where we can kind of get into, like, the game of life.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
basically I want to, like, get your opinion on what's the video game that you played that has the best, like, real life lesson in it that you can apply to real life, and you can say, oh man, that makes sense. Like, I can I can apply this to my real life.
Well, first I would say I won't use this one because I've already gushed about it, but San Andreas teaches you how the game is played. It just teaches you life. In terms of how you deal with people, in terms of what you should listen to in your car, in terms of the fact that you shouldn't stay in one place, you should move around, you should learn from new friends, you should make new connections. It teaches you all that, but I'm not going to go into that.
We ain't gonna do that.
We
That's
ain't
a whole.
gonna do that. We can do a whole episode on San Andreas.
Right.
But I will say, and it sounds very cliche based on how the game is played, but The Sims. So I'm very big on The Sims, and I think even though it's a life emulator, I think that it's, you play it how you would want to play it. You can be a good person, a bad person. You could be, whatever. But that game teaches me personally a lot about self-care and looking inward, because you create characters based on how you want them to look. That tells you what you find important as an important quality. That game, when it comes to your characters, you have to make sure they eat. You have to make sure they take care of themselves. Again, you have to do that with CJ and San Andreas, but we're not gonna go there. You have to make sure that they are paying their bills, because some will come and get repossessed. You have to make sure they get enough sleep. You have to look at whether or not they get along with the people that they interact with, because you'll look up and your sins will be fighting. So it really does teach you some qualities and things about what you are thinking about life and how you take care of yourself and what's important to you and all that kind of stuff. And so it's kind of a lame answer because it's literally a life emulator game. But The Sims, I've been playing since the very first Sims came out. And each time they add things that I in first be like, that's a stupid expansion pack. Why do we need that? And then I look at what the community is saying and I realize, oh, these are people who really did want to learn. Like right now, one of the expansion packs for The Sims is like you can crochet and knit and you can like have a garden. And I'm like, are y'all serious right now? But like when you look at that and then look at what's the one on the Switch that everybody was going crazy, the Animal Farm or whatever last year, like people really wanted to be able to do those kind of crafty things and they didn't want to do it the normal way. They wanted to do it through gaming. So I feel like The Sims is up there for
or
that.
They may not have had access to those things. You might not have a garden.
Like there's that.
You know what I'm saying? But you're like, hey, let me take care of a garden. How would I take care of a garden?
Exactly. I can't have.
I ain't had no garden until I moved out here in the burbs.
Right.
Yeah.
You got beavers.
I can't have
a
pets.
beaver a couple weeks ago. I said, it's a beaver.
I can't have a pet, but I can get a pet on The Sims and think about how I want to take care of it. I don't have a family, but I can build a family on The Sims. I can all of those things. I can go to college. All of those things can get played out through the game. And so
that's what's up.
Right.
That's not a lame choice.
Right.
That's a good choice.
A lame choice.
Like, hey, look, we're not gonna. If you go back to the last episode, no, was it the last episode or episode 8 where we got into that list of things that the guy had said
Oh, that was 8. That was 8.
that was 8.
That was 8.
Yeah, there was a list where it's like this guy had basically said that 10 things that are too realistic in gaming.
Trust us, there's a lot worse. A lot worse.
Oh, it was like we basically went in on it. I said we ain't named no names.
Yours made sense. This is
But
what
we
we
went
saying.
down the list. We was like, come on, bro, really? This is a video game.
You know who's notorious for that? Not to sidetrack us,
Mhm.
but the developers of like Heavy Rain and what is that? Quantic Dream? Is that who that is?
Not the same thing that did that Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit and all that stuff.
Indigo Prophecy.
Indigo Prophecy, all of that.
That same
A
thing. Okay.
lot of the stuff that the characters have to do is like busy work. You'd be like, really? I gotta fold this to get to the next level? I
Yeah.
gotta fold this shirt.
That's
Are
still
you really finna
bad
make
on
me
the
do
cool.
this? This
Yeah.
has nothing to do with anything.
No, but I think sometimes it's just the flex of, hey, you might have to just do something that you don't necessarily want to do.
I guess, but like
And
Detroit
sometimes-
had so much social. Well, now that you mention it, because one of the missions you have to like do the laundry or something.
Yeah.
And I guess in a game that's speaking about how we mistreat or not think about what our machines do for us, the tediousness of having to do that laundry reminds you that these machines are helping you. Yeah. Okay.
We need a sound effect for that. We need like a
pew, 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 pew.
a Sonic ring.
We need
message.
Keenan.
Message.
Like we need Keenan. Message.
Hey, we're gonna have that soon. We're gonna have that like message.
Right.
So y'all can get it. No, yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
That's a good choice. What you got? You got something?
I got a couple of things actually.
Okay.
First one out, something I've been doing recently on the wrestling games.
Okay.
It's for those that don't know, I run like an all AI type of thing. Post them online, people watch the matches and stuff. But what I learned from this is you have to actually learn how to navigate people and make them interact with different things and stuff. It puts you in more in a supervisory mindset.
Okay.
And things like if I do this, they won't in turn do that.
Right.
So you have to pick and choose each stat and trading things.
Okay. I understand that happens a lot in sports where like you have to set the sliders up even for the computer, for the AI.
Yeah. Same.
So that the results can kind of seem more realistic.
Kind of, yeah.
I feel you.
And it's one of the first things I've really been doing on these. And so it's like to see it play out how you want and stuff.
Right.
And you sit back and think like, yo, this is what managers do. It like, for their artists or and stuff. See that long game. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. That's decent. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
It teaches you about like how to set things up, like how to set up a system.
Yeah.
Put a system in play. Okay. I can rock with that.
Being intentional about your systems and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So okay. That's a good choice. I just have one. And it's really simple. Well, I guess yeah, I'll say it's simple, even though people may not see it as a life lesson type thing, but philosophy of life as far as when you play Tetris. Tetris, I feel like, is a good example of when to focus on one piece at a time. Sometimes we go through life where we're basically worrying about too many things at the same time, and you have to make as they say, smart goals.
Okay.
Like, saying like specific, measurable. I forgot the rest of them. I know it's specific, measurable, actionable. There you go.
Realistic.
Come on, help me out.
And time-based.
There you go. So it's like when you think about approaching life and like how a lot of times, it helps to make those type of goals to where you can measure it out and you can be intentional about it. Sometimes we we get caught up in when you're playing Tetris, like, you'll see a piece, right? And you feel like you don't want to wait for it to come down, so you just kind of push it down.
Okay.
But then what ends up happening is if you get caught up in that action, you'll
Mess
keep
yourself up.
you'll keep doing this, and all of a sudden, oh wait, I didn't mean to do that.
I needed this one.
I needed. Oh, I should have did it. And then all of a sudden, okay. And it also teaches you how to troubleshoot. You know what I'm saying? How to pivot.
Hey.
Because like if you okay, that piece didn't work. Okay, maybe I can't worry about that side right now. Let me see what's going on this side based on this next piece that I'm getting. Now it'll teach you to slow down.
Yeah.
It'll teach you to slow down now. See, you was getting ahead of yourself. Slow your ass down. Look at the next piece.
Relax.
Look at the whole picture. Look at the big picture. Then let it go. Let it fall into place. Because what ends up happening is when you go too fast, the pieces stack up.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden you running out of space. Now you're panicking because now you're trying to now you have to fit this, and then guess what? The next piece might not fit. So you ended up basically
Messed yourself up.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yourself up, and
It's
you gotta
like
start over.
bills.
Right, and you got to start over.
You
Tetris is
disappointed yourself.
Right.
Tetris is like when your bills come. Pay that one first. You're supposed to pay that one first because now
Right.
you got all these bills. Now you
Right.
got 3 credit cards when you should have worked on that one credit card first.
Yeah, I mean, because then you're gonna feel like you get how you get that message that says your payment has been successful. Yeah, but I'm not.
Right.
What about me?
I feel very unsuccessful.
I'm not
right now.
successful. You got your money. What about me? You know what I'm saying? So
Where's my cut?
right. But it's just I feel like the game of Tetris is basically no pun, but like the game of life in itself, because it teaches you how to play the game one piece at a time, and sometimes you have to approach life that same way. You can't come at it trying to you can't wear all your hats at the same time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You can only wear one hat at a time. You need structure. You need, things put in place. And even if you're gonna gamble with some things, it's like
You need a net.
you need a net a little bit. You need to understand how important it is to have that. Okay, I'm gonna go in fully on this. If it don't work, cool. But I think it changes in your mindset when you get older. It's like, no, I can't afford to just be like cool if it don't work, and not just no. You got to have something in place so that in case something happens, this will get us through.
Right.
So yeah, that's my choice for the game of life.
Hey, I'm with Tetris for real.
Good
Because
choices. Good
even
choices.
without thinking about that, like on that level,
Uh-huh.
Tetris taught you how to stack your fridge.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Real talk.
Yeah,
Real talk. Organization skills.
Yeah.
Boom.
right. So I was already on board. Then you started bringing the mindset in too. I'm like, oh yeah.
yeah,
This
yeah. Every time people move, like when they move from one place to another, they're like, got to figure it's like a game of Tetris. We got to put these boxes in. Like it's literally like that.
80s and 90s babies that moved around while y'all was moving them couches onto the U-Haul or something. You heard that song in your mind.
You
Yep.
knew what you was
You
doing.
can't tell me, but you can't tell me different.
Right.
Well equipped.
Song.
Well equipped. This is why I said gaming teaches you. It gets you together. You be
Yeah.
like, I can handle anything.
Right.
Do you know how many times I did the RC mission? I could do anything.
Patience. It
Do you
requires
know?
patience.
Do you know how fast I could get from San Andreas all the way over to La Venturas? Do you know what I could do?
Man,
I'm
you know
out here.
what routes I can take?
After a while, you stopped needing the GPS.
You didn't
Right,
need
you
the
be like,
GPS. You knew how to
"No,
get
I
there.
know how to get this. I know how to
Right.
get there." You know what I'm saying? But then it's just
I could fly anywhere in that game.
right.
Anywhere.
Right.
One time I flew all the way. Ain't it a mission where you got to fly all the way back to New York?
Oh yeah, it's a cutscene. Like it's part of a mission.
You got to
have
fly all the
fly
way.
back there, and I forgot what it is you did, but yeah. So okay, these are some good choices. The
Yeah.
Sims, Tetris, and
The wrestling joint.
wrestling joints. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other games you got?
Honestly, let's say Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the video game, card game.
I will definitely say the
Don't
card
matter.
game.
But
I will
maybe
definitely say
like
the
the ones
card
that
game.
play like the games that play like the card game specifically are what I'm
Right.
talking about here. So same thing, card game.
Yeah, Magic the Gathering, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very much teach you to be strategic, teach you to build alliances, which one of the things that I use at the library in terms of that, I have a Monopoly collection. So not just one Monopoly, I have Walking Dead Monopoly, I have
Huh.
Forest Park Monopoly, I have Simpsons Monopoly, but the thing and electronic banking Monopoly. But the reason why I started to get Monopoly for them was it's we all know Monopoly is that game that just lasts forever. You'd be like, man, you know who not to play with and all of that. But what I
Right.
noticed with the teens is they started
Oh,
figuring
bipolar.
out, yeah, they started figuring out how to barter with each other. They started figuring out how to
Hmm.
make deals on the side. Like, okay, if you get boardwalk before I get boardwalk, we split it. If I give you some money, like they were learning all kind of business skills
Nice.
and networking from playing Monopoly. And you know, the undercurrent is always what I'm looking for as an educator. I'm not always looking at what's on the surface of just what's in there. So if you come
Right.
in my team room right now, you're gonna see Bop It, you're gonna see Monopoly, you're gonna see a Light Bright, you're gonna see kinetic sand, you're gonna see all of these things, and you think these is teenagers, they don't need this stuff. But the thing is, when they're playing Bop It, it's something where they have to slow down and pay attention to every move they make, just like Tetris,
Right.
because you have to be listening to do it. When they're playing Monopoly, they're learning about, you know, business skills and bartering and structuring and all that kind of stuff. When they're playing on the Light Bright, they have to slow down and be precise. So all of those things have meaning to it. It's not just let's just go ahead and play these little kitty games. There's always a method to the madness, but like Monopoly will definitely teach you how to make some deals and
Yep.
how to structure some stuff in such a way where it's like, okay, well, if you land on mine, you ain't got to pay me for none of these hotels. If when I land on that boardwalk, you don't say nothing to me. You learn some
Exactly.
serious skills.
See, that's what's up, and that's kind of what I'm talking about with the whole Yu-Gi-Oh thing. Exactly. You learning how to plan ahead. You learning how to take what you start out with.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's completely random,
Yeah.
and you learn how to make something from it.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what really, man, like this whole podcast really is about. It's like it's just about applying things that can help you navigate through certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's also for nostalgia reasons too. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to go back and just revisit and relive those moments. But it's also thinking, for like basically having the foresight to say, hey, where's gaming going and how important gaming is to for education. Because like there's an education component that not a lot of people really value.
Right.
It's undervalued.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Like they used
There's
Tetris
a
back in the military back in the day, like in old Atari times.
right. So
there were students at MIT that were using Tetris for different things too. But I will say, just in a librarian moment, I have to. There's a really great there's a really great book called Reality is Broken, by
hmm,
Jane McGonigal, and she talks about what games teach us and how games give us happiness and why that's important. And she's a former game developer, game designer, but she talks a lot about why people play games and what genuine human needs it's actually fulfilling. So I would definitely say if there's anybody that you know of who is thinking about that and feeling like gaming isn't, you know, something that we really need, she really deeply goes into the structure of it. And she talks about not just video games, but card games, games like Dungeons and Dragons, those kind of things, and how we are learning real human necessity skills based on, you know, calling them games is not nearly respectful for what they give us. So that's a really great book that I would recommend.
Okay. It's
okay,
called
shout out.
what?
It's called Reality is Broken,
And what's the
and
author's
it's
name?
Jane McGonigal.
All All right, shout out to Jane McGonigal. Check out that book, Reality is Broken.
Definitely.
And yeah, that's dope, man. Well, I think we can leave it right there.
I think we can leave it right
I just
there.
want to yeah, man, Regina, thank you for being such an esteemed guest with us today. Did.
Thanks for
Uh,
having me. It's always fun.
yeah, she's basically going to be like uh a guest like every
We're gonna have her
eight.
back.
Yeah, we'll have her about every 8th, 12th episode. Just on average. You know what I'm saying? She'll definitely be back to hang out with us. And yeah, so we want to thank y'all for hanging out with us today. And hopefully we fulfilled your need for gaming this week, gaming topics. And again, follow us on follow us at Respekt My Gamer. That's respect with a K, all one word. Respekt My Gamer at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Let us know how y'all feel about saying what's going on in the episodes, and we will speak to y'all soon. Thank you again, Gina. It's been fun.
Yes.
So much fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Y'all have a great week, and we'll speak to y'all soon. All right, peace.
All right.
Peace.